What's happening, financial coaches? It's Pete here. I want to talk to you today about something. I actually just had a conversation with another buddy of mine who is heavy into financial wellness expert, connoisseur, aficionado, enthusiast. And we were just talking about the paycheck to paycheck term. And this is something that I've used a lot. I mean, I've used it in my own presentations. I do a presentation on side hustles where I've talked about, the number of people in America that live paycheck to paycheck. And I think that number is around 3/4 of America, 76% or something like that live paycheck to paycheck. And we use this as practitioners a lot to describe people who are kind of tight on their money, right? It's kind of a euphemism for, all the dollars are spoken for, right? There's more month left at the end of the money kind of a deal. But the reality is, and this is not my original thought, but it was something we were discussing, is that many people are saying don't use the term paycheck to paycheck. And I actually do understand, and I actually do agree with that. So the reason I bring that up is, one, paycheck to paycheck is kind of an industry term. It's kind of a practitioner term. It's used by corporations. It's used by financial education companies in their materials. Hey, this is how many people are living paycheck to paycheck, or come work with us. Our coaches will help you get out of the paycheck to paycheck living, whatever it might be. And the reality is, and as it was explained to me, is that paycheck to paycheck can mean different things to different people. So if you use it as kind of a generality or generalization, a lot of people don't understand what you're talking about, right? Like, oh, I help people that are living paycheck to paycheck. Well, who is that? Is that someone who is saving, but maybe not a lot because they have a very low income? Is that someone with $400,000 of income that isn't saving at all? And I know some people like that. I have worked with a couple. She's a doctor. He's an investment banker. They have a combined income of about $800,000 a year, and they save no money at all. Savings accounts, retirement accounts, nothing. It all goes to supporting their lifestyle. Is that paycheck to paycheck? You might say, well, it is. I mean, I guess if every dollar is spoken for, and they're waiting for bonuses to pay off credit cards or whatever it might be, right? So that is paycheck to paycheck. But you also might say, hey, I'm not going to call that paycheck to paycheck because these people obviously could find some room in their budget to save some money, but the person making $28,000 a year probably can't, so it's more understandable, it's excusable that they're living paycheck to paycheck. How about the middle class American with, $76,000 of household income that, maybe has $20, $30, $40, $50 at the end of the month, and they put that in a savings account, or they use it to fund their vacation fund or whatever? Is that paycheck to paycheck living? I bring this up because a lot of these things can be very close. A lot of these things definitely meet the definition, but you might not like it because of the income. Does that mean that every dollar is spoken for? Or if you're saving $1, that isn't paycheck to paycheck living. That is surplus living. Who knows? The paycheck to paycheck term, while we use it to kind of mean that things are tight, doesn't really resonate with people, because I think when you ask most people, when I kind of realized that people were talking about that, they think they're living paycheck to paycheck. If you were to ask, I think most people, are you living paycheck to paycheck? You're right, I am. And yet some people are maxing out 401ks and retirement plans and putting money into savings, but yet at the end of the month they have $0, right? That doesn't necessarily mean they aren't saving. And so some of those people might say, hey, I'm living paycheck to paycheck, even though they're on a fantastic track for retirement or covering emergencies or all these other things. So this is the reason that some of these people are saying, as a practitioner, as a business, as an educator, as an organization, agency, stop using that term, right? If you are working with someone who makes enough money where they should be able to be saving, but aren't saving for whatever reason, then just say that, right? Say that I help people find the savings within their current income, right? That's pretty self-explanatory. And then I might say, like, well, I am saving in retirement and a savings account, emergency fund, and all that. So since I'm already doing that, you're not talking to me. So it helps people understand who your target market is, as opposed to something that is just really nebulous, something that's unclear, a little foggy. A term like paycheck to paycheck, where we think we know what that means or that it's really clear, is actually very, very unclear for people. And so that's why I have started getting out of the habit of using paycheck to paycheck, unless I'm just kind of generalizing with some of my industry friends here, because we kind of understand that we're talking about people that are tight in money and not really having it super well defined. But when I'm out now doing presentations or talking to prospects or talking to current clients or talking to individuals or organizations that are working with people, I don't use that term. I will talk to people. I will talk about a person or people's situations, right? Hourly workers that just don't have the bandwidth within their finances to put away money for savings. Home office or corporate employees that aren't saving enough. Just being very specific about who you are targeting, because the paycheck to paycheck thing just isn't really that clear. So hopefully that helps. Just something that I heard, wanted to pass it on. I'll see you later.